भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटोर 1 चैप्टर 3 वर्स नंबर 44। तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षे भूरि तेजसः अहं चाध्यगमं तत्र निविष्टः तदनुग्रहात् सोऽहं वः श्रावयिष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति। तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षे भूरि तेजसः अहं चाध्यगमं तत्र निविष्ट तदनुग्रहात् सोऽहं वः श्रावयिष्यामि। यथाधीतं यथामति तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षे भूरि तेजसः अहं चाध्यगमं तत्र निविष्ट तदनुग्रह सोऽहं वः श्रावयिष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति. Devotees like to recite. तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विष्णु तदनुग्रहात् तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षे भूरि तेजसः अहं चाध्यगमं तत्र निविष्ट तदनुग्रह सोऽहं वः श्रावयिष्यामि. Mataji's. यथाधीतं यथामति तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षे भूरि तेजसः अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टः तदनुग्रहात् तत्र there kirtiyatah while reciting vipraha o brahmanas vipra rishi from the great brahmana rishi bhuri greatly tejasah powerful aham I cha also adhyagamam could understand tatra in that meeting nivishta being perfectly attentive tadanugrahat by his mercy sah that very thing aham I vah unto you shravishami shall let you hear yatha adhitam yatha mati as far as my realization. Translation: O learned Brahmanas, when Shukdev Goswami recited Bhagavatam, there in the presence of Emperor Parikshit, I heard him with rapt attention, and thus, by his mercy, I learned the Bhagavatam from that great and powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him and as I have realized it. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One can certainly see directly the presence of Lord Shri Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam if one has heard it from a self-realized great soul like Shukdev Goswami. One cannot, however, learn Bhagavatam from a bogus, hired reciter whose aim of life is to earn some money out of such recitation and employ the earning in sex indulgence. No one can learn Srimad Bhagavatam who is associated with persons engaged in sex life. That is the secret of learning Bhagavatam. Nor can one learn Bhagavatam from one who interprets the text by his mundane scholarship. One has to learn Bhagavatam from the representative of Shukdev Goswami and no one else, if one at all wants to see Lord Sri Krishna in the pages. That is the process, and there is no alternative. Sutta Goswami is a bona fide representative of Shukdev Goswami because he wants to present the message which he received from the great learned Brahmana. Shukdev Goswami presented Bhagavatam as he heard it from his great father, and so also Sutta Goswami is presenting Bhagavatam as he had heard it from Shukdev Goswami. Simple hearing is not all. One must realize the text with proper attention. The word Nivishta means that Sutta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. That is the real process of receiving Bhagavatam. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. And no one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. But somehow or other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person, at the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees to Sunday morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Sadayogi Prabhu, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to glorify Krishna for my purification. So today we will discuss a very important verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which we recited just now, first canto, third chapter, 44 verse. So before we reflect upon this verse, let's go to the background of this verse in 5 minutes. So in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, Shaunak Rishi asked 6 questions from Sutta Goswami. The first question, what is the highest good for all living beings? Second question, what is the essence of all the scriptures? Third question, what is the purpose of Krishna's incarnation? Fourth question, what are the Purush avatars? Fifth question, what are the Leela avatars? And the sixth question, after Krishna departed from this world, where the principal religion have taken the shelter. So the answer to the first 4 questions are given in the first 2 chapters of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the answer to the fifth and sixth question is given in the third chapter. So in the third chapter, Sota Goswami describes very briefly the various Leela avatars. Yeah. For example, he mentions very briefly about Sanat Kumaras, Narad Muni, Narsimha Bhagwan, Lord Rama, etc. And then Sutta Goswami says that one should know that Krishna's incarnations are unlimited. But one thing is there, that Krishna's tu Bhagwan Swam. That Krishna is Swam Bhagwan. He is not the incarnation. Rather, he is a source of all incarnations. And no one can understand Krishna completely, but one who renders a devotion service, the person can understand Krishna very perfectly. And Sutta Goswami says that the pastimes of Krishna and his devotees have been given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled by Vyasdev ji. Then he narrated to Shukdev Goswami. In turn, he narrated to Parikshit Maharaj. And after Krishna departed from this material world, the principles of religion have taken the shelter in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for all good. Yeah, it will bring the ultimate good for everyone. So when Shaunak Rishi hears it, he had a question that, okay, you mentioned that Bhagavatam was compiled by Vyasdev ji. He narrated to Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami narrated to Parikshit Maharaj. But what about you? How did you learn Srimad Bhagavatam? Sudha Goswami says, when Shukdev Goswami was reciting it to Parikshit Maharaj, I was also sitting there and hearing it. And that's how I learned the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shaunak Rishi says that, but in that assembly, thousands of other people were hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So why they could not learn it as you have learned by hearing from Shukdev Goswami? So this verse is the answer to that question. Sudha Goswami says that I learned it, Adhyagamam. I learned it from Shukdev Goswami due to two reasons, right? And the first reason, Nivishta. And second, Tad Anugrahat. Nivishta means I heard with rapt attention, and Tad Anugrahat means by, Tad means his, which means Shukdev Goswami. Anugrahat means causeless mercy, special favor. So in this translation, the one word the translation of one word which should catch the attention of everyone is the Nivishta. Hearing with rapt attention. I am sure if you ask you may ask thousands of scholars to translate Nivishta. Nobody would translate the word Nivishta as hearing with rapt attention. So today we will reflect upon these two words, rapt attention. And after that, a few other things. But the focus will be hearing with rapt attention. So now let's see what is the meaning of rapture. What do you understand by the word rapt? Today you have to help me with the answers. Rapt means absorption, yeah. And focused and yeah, without deviation. Yeah, very good. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. And yeah, that's also the meaning. Yeah. So the rapt, the the word rapt has come from the Latin word raptus, which means seized. Something which has caught you. And what you mentioned is correct. Rapta means complete absorption. Rapta means not thinking of anything. And when we say complete absorption, like, the sponge will absorb the water, and it's very difficult to separate water from the sponge, right? Once the sponge has absorbed the water, you can't separate water from sponge. So similarly, if our mind is seized by Srimad Bhagavatam, then you can't separate Srimad Bhagavatam from our mind. That's a rapt. And attention, what is the meaning of attention? There are two words, rapt and attention. Attention means, what is the meaning of attention? Yeah. Sorry, Prabhu. Attention. Yeah, attention means dhyan se. Yeah, dhyan se and savdhani purvak. The two things, Yeah. Dhyan means a full focus. And then second, another important thing is savdhani. Careful without making any mistake, right? That's a means attention. And we use the word attention in day-to-day for like many times, And when we say pay attention, means focus and carefully. Don't make any mistake, right? We say drive attentively means what? Don't make any mistakes and savdhani purvak, right? So when we say rapt attention, it means ekagrata purvak, dhyan purvak, savdhani purvak, right? And now Prabhupada translates the word nivishta means hearing with rapt attention. So let's discuss a few examples in the material life of the rapt attention. Now we can see the things with rapt attention. We can hear the things with rapt attention. We can eat the things with rapt attention. So what are the examples? Say for, you can say seeing with rapt attention. Any more example where we see the things with rapt attention? Sorry? Seeing, yeah. But I want better example, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Cricket match was one of the things I have written in my notes, Cricket match, right? Rapt attention. What other thing? Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Movies. Anyone who has not seen the movies? Yeah, everyone see the movie. So, seeing with rapt attention, we have the two examples. We watch the movies, we watch the cricket, and suppose somebody is going to see the exam result. We have the experience, the result is announced, and we have to see our roll number and the name in the list. How much rapt attention is there in seeing that list, right? So that's seeing with rapt attention, right? Undivided attention, and don't want to make any mistake, don't want to miss anything, right? What about hearing with rapt attention? Your boss has called you, right? And you want to, sorry. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, and yeah, that's the first thing. When somebody wants to, somebody is glorifying you, right? And somebody, talking about me, good things, then you don't want him to stop, right? Your all the years, full attention, undivided attention is there. And you don't want to miss any word, right? Annual appraisal is due and your boss is going to tell you about the promotion increment, how much attentive we are, right? Yeah, that's another simple example of hearing with rapt attention. What about eating with rapt attention? We eat every day, but that's not rapt attention. Yeah. Imagine Nirjala Ekadashi, to break the fast after Nirjala Ekadashi, next day morning. How much rapt attention is there while eating? Right? So we see in our day-to-day life that we do several things with rapt attention. Now let's take the example of the movie. Like we watch the movie with the rapt attention. So what happens? What happens when the rapt attention is there? When the rapt attention is there, you don't know how you pass the 3 hours. We are sitting in the same place for 3 hours. gazing at the screen in the complete dark and don't realize कि 3 घंटा हमारा किधर खत्म हो गया. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam class, after 45 minutes, after 1 hour, we start feeling restless. And then, oh, Prabhu, this Prabhu talks a lot. He gives very long class, right? We have to be practical in our life. We have to balance material life, spiritual life. So many things start coming up, right? So one side, you see, we watch the movie for 3 hours, right? With rapt attention, sitting in one place. We don't feel any pain, no pain in the back, no pain in the knee, no pain in the eyes, right? Because rapt attention is there, right? And then you don't get distracted also. If suppose someone wants to distract you, still you don't get distracted. Movie has started, somebody next to you comes and say, hey, when did the movie start? You will tell him, shh, just look at there. ऐसा होता ही नहीं होता. But how about when we are in Bhagavatam? Anybody comes and sit next to us? Okay, how are you, Prabhu? How is everything? Where is Mataji? Where are the kids? I did not see you for a long time. Isn't it? We don't tell the person, Prabhu, please, can you hear the Bhagavatam? No? Why? Because the rapt attention is not there. Go and watch the movie. We ensure that we don't get distracted while watching the movie. अपना मोबाइल पहले टर्न ऑफ कर देंगे, राइट? पॉपकॉर्न्स खाने के लिए पहले से इन एडवांस के इफ यू फील हंग्री द पॉपकॉर्न्स आर देयर, राइट? एनीबडी पासेज, कोई भी आ रहा है जा रहा है, एनीबडी कमिंग इन एंड आउट, वी डोंट केयर, राइट? द फुल अटेंशन इज देयर, राइट? So just one example that in the material life we do several things with a rapt attention. And here Sukdev Goswami is telling us, here Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention. Now the next thing, if you want to assess yourself, or if I want to assess myself, whether I heard Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention, how would I assess if I heard Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention? Shouldn't we ask this question? Right? So I have written 7 things against which we can assess if we have heard Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention. And those things are coming from Srimad Bhagavatam itself and other scriptures. So we will reflect upon those things very briefly and then move on to the next thing. So, okay, now I want to hear from you. What are the things by which we can assess ourselves whether we heard Srimad Bhagavatam with a rapt attention or not? Just, yeah, Prabhu, please. We will be eager. Yeah, questions. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. Yeah. Very happy. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Reflection. Yeah. And yes, Prabhu. Backside. Sure. Yes. Yeah. Right. And Prabhu. Collect the points. Yeah. Yes. Mataji's. Discuss with other Bodhyantam. Yes. Yeah. Right. And sorry. Yeah. Get solutions. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're right. So all the answers are correct. And as I said, there are several measures against which we can assess whether we heard Srimad Bhagavatam with full attention or not. So let's reflect upon few points very briefly. The first symptom, I shouldn't say first symptom, one of the symptom, right? If we heard the Srimad Bhagavatam rapt attention is that we don't feel exhausted. In the first chapter of the first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, Shaunak Rishi tells Sutta Goswami, Vayam tu na pitrapyama. If we are not satisfied, we are not exhausted by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam again and again. Parikshit Maharaj, he was not exhausted by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. He told Shukdev Goswami, I don't feel hungry, I don't feel thirsty. We feel hungry, we feel thirsty when we get exhausted by doing certain things. If we are not exhausted, then we don't feel hunger, we don't feel thirst. Right? On the Janmashtami day, Nirjala, fasting is there. All of us, we are engaged in various sevas. Right? Rapt attention is there. So we don't feel exhausted. Right? And we are not exhausted, that's why we don't feel hunger and thirst. But as soon as the seva stops in the night, then we feel exhaustion. We feel hunger and thirst. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whenever he would hear the Srimad Bhagavatam from his class associates, he would say, please go on, go on, go on, continue, continue, continue. So that's one. First thing, rapt attention. And second, what you mentioned, the relish. Ke vayamnu vitrapyama. Swadu swadu pade pade. You relish each and everything from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Suppose a person is very hungry and he is given the food to eat, he will enjoy each and every bite. So hearing with rapt attention means swadu swadu pade pade, that each and every step you enjoy. Anandambudhi vardhanam. What is the meaning of Anandambudhi vardhanam? That each and every step, the ocean of bliss is increasing. Right? Generally, we cannot say the water in the ocean is increasing. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, the ocean of transcendental bliss is, what is the nature of the ocean of the transcendental bliss? Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam. Srimad Bhagavatam, last canto, it says, Ruchiram Navam Navam. Right? Each and every step, we find the new taste. The third thing, inquiries. Right? If we are not exhausted, if we are relishing, then we will ask the questions, right? Our entire Bhagavad Gita, the foundation is questions. Srimad Bhagavatam, foundation is what? Questions right from the beginning. Shaunak Rishi is asking the questions. Right? Then Vidur Maharaj is asking the question, Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question, Uddhaji is asking the question, right? Vasudeva is asking the question. Through the Srimad Bhagavatam, all the cantos, the questions and answers, the questions and answers. Because all those people, they heard with rapt attention. And the fourth symptom of the rapt attention is the undivided attention. We don't pay attention to anything. If you look at the mobile, scrolling the mobile, that means our attention is divided. If we pay attention to the who is coming in and out, that means our rapt attention is lost. One lady wanted to have the darshan of Lord Jagannath. Right? His mind was completely focused only on one thing. I want to have darshan of Lord Jagannath. And she was running and running, and she simply climbed on the shoulder of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And people wanted to stop her. They said, you are offended Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so much happy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the kind of attention, kind of eagerness this lady has got, I wish I can also have the same kind of eagerness. Undivided attention. Another example we see in Mahabharata. When Dronacharya asked the Pandavas, to shoot the eyes of the fish. Right? Everyone except Arjuna were seeing so many other things, right? It was only Arjuna who could see only eye of the fish. And where? Where? It was in the boiling water. Right? The reflection. Arjuna had to see the fish, the eye of the fish, which was rotating, and the reflection was in the boiling water. They raised to see and shoot. And even there, he was able to see only the eye of the fish. So that's a Shishi Radha Neel Madhav Ji ki. Yeah, yeah. That's undivided attention. Undivided attention means no multitasking. We don't do anything else when we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. You mentioned about cricket match. Do we do any other thing while watching cricket? Do we drive? No, we don't drive. Do we cook? No, we don't cook. Do we do any other thing while we are watching a movie? No, we don't do any other thing. It's good. It's good that we hear Srimad Bhagavatam while we do so many other things. But during the week, we should find some time when our attention is only to Srimad Bhagavatam, not even to any other devotion service also. Right? Isn't it? That's a undivided attention, fourth thing. And the fifth thing is the signs of ecstasy. Signs of ecstasy. You feel ecstatic when you hear with rapt attention. I shouldn't say you, we. I am also included in that. Yeah. And what are the signs of ecstasy? What are the signs of ecstasy? Sorry? Oh, that's a later on, but what is the first thing? Yeah, quick thing. Ecstasy. Signs a very simple thing. Laughing. You laugh in a joyful mood. Then crying. Another very simple thing. Isn't it? Dancing. Feel like to dance. Very simple thing. Metal world में होता है कि नहीं होता? Right? Whenever we are happy, that happiness is reflected in what? Many times when we are so happy that we have the tears in the eyes, right? Isn't it? Crying, we feel sorrow, then again the tears are now. Right? Then we dance also. These are the natural things. Yeah? When we like something. But one thing is important, that this crying, laughing, dancing, it should happen without caring for others. We don't care for others. And we laugh, we cry, we dance. But if we cry, laugh, dance while caring for others, then it's not an ecstasy. There is a nice verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Dhruta chitta uche hasate to rodati gaiti unmadvad nrityati bhaya. Sorry? Yeah. It's a very nice verse. I am missing the first line, Prabhu. Jata anurago dhruta chitta uche. Evam vrata swapriya nama kirtiya. Jata anurago dhruta chitta uche. Hasatya to rodati gayati. Unmadvad nrityati bhaya. Right? That is a sign of uh, complete absorption in Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you are simply absorbed in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, then do you think we ever feel like to laugh, cry, dance? But we do these things when we are watching the movie. Right? Isn't it? So go to the cinema theater. In a comedy movie, people are laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing. In a sad movie, people are crying there in the tears. And the funny thing is that people are crying by seeing the illusion. They are seeing something illusory. Huh? What is happening on the screen? Everything is illusion. There is no reality. So Maya ko dekhkar, we see the illusion and we get so much absorbed in that. We cry, we laugh, feel like to dance. Right? होता है ना ऐसा? But the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam is the highest truth. Right? Dharma projita ketvata parmo nirma saranam satam. Vedyam vastavam. Yeah. Yeah. The highest truth. But it doesn't happen with us, right? Rarely it happens. So the point is that hearing with rapt attention would lead to ecstatic symptoms, laughing, crying, dancing, but without caring for others, not to show others. And the sixth thing, hearing with rapt attention means we share with others. Many of you mentioned. Right? Imagine you come out after watching a nice movie, right? कोई बहुत अच्छी movie देख के आए. You watched a very interesting cricket match. What will happen? As soon as you finish it, you tell others, right? कि movie बहुत अच्छा था. This scene was good. This song was good. A cricket match, the shot was good, right? Bowling was good. Is it happens it or not, right? Because you watch the movie, you watch the cricket match with rapt attention. So similarly, if we have heard the Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention, the natural inclination is what? To tell others, to tell others. Yontah pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam. Sanjeevayati akhila shakti dhara sudham. Yonta pravishya mama vacham. As soon as Krishna enters into our ears, right? Mama vacham imam prasuptam. Even if you're dumb, you start speaking, right? Isn't it or not? But does it happen? How many times we have heard Srimad Bhagavatam? And how many times we have shared what we heard in Srimad Bhagavatam with others? Not sharing with others means we are exhausted, right? Isn't it? We did not relish it. Right? Our attention was divided. Right? We did not feel any ecstasy. Did not have any questions, right? That's why there is no more sharing. No bodhyanta parasparam. And the seventh thing, hearing with rapt attention, it means writing, taking the notes. Srimad Bhagavatam produces the nectar. Now to collect the nectar, we should have the pot. Now where is the pot? We are not Shruti Dhara. Shruti Dhara means you hear and everything gets stored in the memory. Why did Vyasdeva compiled, wrote Vedas and Srimad Bhagavatam? Because he knew in the Kali Yuga, people will not be Shrutidhara. Right? So where do we store that Amrit? The Srimad Bhagavatam is producing nectar, but we don't have any vessel to collect the nectar. So what is the vessel? The vessel is take the notes, keep writing the notes. Don't think, don't worry, it's important or not important, right? Anybody who is speaking from Prabhupada books, each and every word is important. Right? You write everything, whatever you're hearing. Later on, for reflection, you can mark, okay, these are the things which I should reflect upon. But don't spend time. I'm not giving the instruction, rather it's for me also, right? We shouldn't spend the time in thinking, whether it's important or not, right? Our eyes, our head must be down, right? Prabhupada used to say that what is remembering? Prabhupada used to say, remembering means writing. Remembering Srimad Bhagavatam class means writing Srimad Bhagavatam class. So these are the few things, 7 things, against which we can assess whether we have heard a Srimad Bhagavatam class with rapt attention or not. Now move on to the next thing. Now what are the prerequisites for hearing with rapt attention? Now when you say prerequisite, you know what is the meaning of prerequisite? Something that should happen before other thing can happen. That this is dependent on happening certain other things. Okay, before we have the rapt attention, there are certain prerequisites. And there can be several prerequisites. I could not think of everything, but I've written 3 things. The first prerequisite is we should be atur, anxious. Eted atur chittana matra sparshasya muhu. Narad Muni tells Vyasadeva that we are always anxious. Anxious is what? Sense gratification. Yeah? Matra sparshasya. So that our anxiety has to be shifted to touch Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Unless we are anxious to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the rapt attention will not be there. And anxiety to hear Srimad Bhagavatam means what? Again, there are signs. One of the signs is that you are there before the Bhagavatam class starts. You are the first one to be there and last one to get up. Imagine you are going to watch the movie. Are we late in reaching the theater? I was hardly late in reaching the theater. मूवी देखने के लिए कभी लेट होते ही नहीं थे हम लोग, हमेशा बिफोर टाइम, राइट? सो मच बिफोर टाइम कि पॉपकॉर्न खरीदने के लिए भी समय है, रेस्टरूम जाने के लिए भी समय है, मोबाइल को स्विच ऑफ करने के लिए भी समय, सब चीजों के लिए समय निकालने के बाद भी बिफोर द screen is on, we are in the theater, right? Because anxiety is there. I don't want to miss anything, I don't want to miss anything. Break hota hai, break ke samay bhi, yeah, we don't consume the whole break, right? Before the break finishes, we are inside, right? So that's a sign of anxiety. We should be anxious. Like Vritrasura, in his prayer, he says, Ajata Patra, Ajata Paksha, Eva Matram Khaga. Then Istannam Yatha Vastadra Shudartara. Priyam Priyeva. Vishutam Vishanna. Mano Arvindakshate. Di Drakshate Tvame. Mano Arvindakshate. Di Drakshate. Di Drakshate means seeing. Right? Hearing and seeing is not different. So 3 examples are given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. How much we should be anxious to see Krishna by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. The way a very small bird is anxious to see her mother. The way the calf is anxious that the time for the mother is going to be milked, so that the calf can go and see the mother. And the way the lover is waiting for the boy and girl to come and see, Priyam Priyava Vishutam Vishanna. Mano Arvindaksha, Di Drakshate. I want to have the same eagerness, right? So unless we go to hear Srimad Bhagavatam class with this eagerness, the rapt attention will not be there. Do you think rapt attention will be there? No, you can't create the rapt attention just by coming and jumping into the asana. And the second thing, again, the Srimad Bhagavatam 1:117, Shraddha Dhanam, that we should have the Shraddha, we should have the faith in Srimad Bhagavatam, that it is meant for my ultimate good. Right? Unless we have the faith in Srimad Bhagavatam. And one more thing, respect for the speaker. Right? Both the things. We may have Shraddha in the Bhagavatam, but not the respect for the speaker. Rapt attention will not be there. Again, if you have the grudges against the speaker, you don't like the speaker, right? Due to any reason, do you think you will have the rapt attention? No, you won't have the rapt attention. Right? So Bhagavatam, first chapter, first few verses, Shraddha Dhanam, Shanak Rishi is telling Sudha Goswami that you heard with Shraddha. Yeah, that's why you were able to assimilate what you have heard from various spiritual masters. Yeah, Guruve. Not one spiritual, various spiritual masters you have heard. Right? So the second thing, the faith in Srimad Bhagavatam and respect for the speaker. And the third thing, we should come prepared in the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Right? We have our day-to-day example. Right? A doctor goes to the hospital, right? Isn't the doctor prepared? Before he steps in the clinic, again the coat is there, the stethoscope is there, right? A policeman goes to the police station, prepares himself or not, right? You go to the classroom, you carry the laptop, teaching computer, isn't it or not, right? But if we come to the Srimad Bhagavatam class, what is the preparation we have? Right? If I know that today it's a first cantor, second cantor, third cantor, I should carry my copy with me. Right? That's a preparation. You go to the hospital. Do you borrow someone else's coat to wear, right? Do you borrow a stethoscope from someone else? Do you wear a laptop from someone else? Right? Policeman, is he going to borrow pistol from somebody else? No. I should be attached. I should be attached. This is my book. I should see it. Right? Bhagavad Gita, I should carry my own copy. Isn't it? So if the preparation is not there, the rapt attention is missing. Our pen, paper should be there, notebook should be there. Proper notebook. ऐसा नहीं कि घर से चलने अच्छा अभी भागवतम के लिए जाने का है, अच्छा नोट्स लिखने का है मेरे को, एक पेपर इधर से उठाया, एक इधर से उठाया, एक इधर से उठाया, and after some time one paper is flying there, another is flying there, another is flying there, flying on the floor. No, that's not the respect for Bhagavatam. No, Bhagavatam will not reciprocate. Right? Your notebook is not different than Bhagavatam. Right? You settle everything, no multitasking, don't carry another task, whatever tasks are there, finish those tasks. Right? Like this morning Bhagavatam, I like the morning Bhagavatam class very much. Because here, generally there is no distraction, everybody is here. Right? Same thing in our Abu Dhabi by Krishna's mercy, Maharaj mercy. Whenever Bhagavatam class is there, unless we can't avoid it, we make sure that everything is taken care before the Bhagavatam class starts, Bhagavad Gita class starts. Right? Devotees are requested to come ahead of the time. Right? If anybody is late, they should be sitting at the back. Right? Mataji should have offered the bhoga. Bhoga has been collected, right? Everybody is sitting, and there is minimal distraction. Children have to be fed. Children are given the food. Mobiles are switched off. Somebody wants the chair. The person is sitting on the chair, right? This is the preparation. And for that matter, we prepare for everything, isn't it or not? In the material world, We prepare for so many things at the daytime. For Srimad Bhagavatam, which is ultimate good for us, right? The preparation is missing. Okay? Fine. So there are three things there. There are three things, prerequisites for hearing with rapt attention. The eagerness, right? Anxiety, aturta. Right? Second, faith in Srimad Bhagavatam and respect for the speaker. And the third, preparation for rapt attention. Right? So we discussed what is the meaning of rapt attention, examples in the material world of rapt attention, the seven things against which we can measure whether we heard the Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention or not. And third, what are the prerequisites for hearing with rapt attention? Now the second thing, Sudha Goswami said, Tad Anugrahat. That I learned Srimad Bhagavatam, two reasons, rapt attention, nivishta, and second, Tad Anugrahat, mercy. Right? We hear Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention, but one thing we must remember that the favor, mercy is required. A special favor is required. Mercy means a special favor is required. And we have to qualify to receive the special favor. Like we have the examples in the first canto itself. Narad Muni tells Vyasdeva that I was able to receive the mercy of the sages because though I was a child, but I was not playful. Right? Though I was a child, but I was not playful. So that attracted their attention. Yo, this boy is so small. He should be playing, but not playing. Rather, he is serving me and he is hearing me. Not one day, 2 days, but constantly. And that attracted the mercy of sages. So Shaunak Rishi tells us, Sutta Goswami, that you were able to attract the mercy of the spiritual masters because you were Saumya. Saumya means you are pure and simple. So your purity and simplicity will attract the mercy of the spiritual master. So similarly here, if we hear with rapt attention, means if we are eager to hear, if we have the faith in Srimad Bhagavatam, we have the respect for the speaker, we prepare ourselves, and we hear with rapt attention, then Tad Anugrahat will flow. Then Krishna's mercy will flow. And then we will be able to hear with rapt, then we will be able to learn the Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Now the last thing, we should relish the purport. Right? There are three things given very wonderfully by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada has given such a wonderful purport, that it has to be read again and again. And the purport, Prabhupada focuses on three things. First thing, Prabhupada says we should hear from right person. The right person means the three things. Right? The person should not be a professional reciter. He should not recite Bhagavatam with any motivation. Zero motivation. Zero motivation. Zero motivation. No motivation. Second, the person should not be engaged in sex life. And the third thing, person should not interpret the text of the Srimad Bhagavatam according to his material education. And if any one of the three things are missing, then the person is not the right speaker. We should not hear the Srimad Bhagavatam from such kind of person. The second thing, Prabhupada says, what is the interesting thing Prabhupada says? They see presence of Krishna in every page of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 4 places Prabhupada mentioned that we can see presence of Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam in single purport. To the best of my knowledge, whatever little I have read, this is the only purport where 4 times Prabhupada has mentioned that we can directly see the presence of Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam. In the first line, Prabhupada says, the last line, Prabhupada says, and between, middle also 2 times Prabhupada tells it. In the first line, Prabhupada is telling that we can see the presence of, we can see Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam. बीच में भी 2 बार बोलते हैं और the last line also he says the same thing. Right? Brahma Samhitam idam Bhagavatam namam Puranam Brahma Samhitam. Just 3 verses before 1340. Sutta Goswami says this is Puranam Brahma Samhitam. Many times people say that Srimad Bhagavatam is like Krishna. That is wrong. It is not like Krishna. It is Krishna himself. It is literally incarnation of Krishna. Isn't it? Brahma Samhitam. Brahma ke saman hai. It is Brahma ke saman hai. Right? And Prabhupada has given very nice purport in 1340. There are a few sentences I would like to read in the context of this verse. So you can reflect upon those sentences later on, but I have selected those sentences and just I will recite for you. Everyone's pleasure. So this is 1340. Srimad Bhagavatam should be worshipped as respectfully as we worship the Lord. Do we do it? After the end of every sentence of this purport, what Prabhupada has given, we should think, do we do it? Srimad Bhagavatam should be worshipped as respectfully as we worship the Lord. हम वर्शिप करने की बात तो छोड़िए, हम भागवतम को ध्यान से रखते भी नहीं है. कभी भागवतम को ऐसा रखना चाहिए, ऐसा रखने की जगह हम ऐसा रख देंगे, ऐसा रख देंगे. और उसमें इतना डस्ट आ रहा है, धूल आ रहा है, मिट्टी आ रहा है. वी डोंट केयर फॉर इट. भागवतम का कवर फट गया, पेज फट गया, इसका बाइंडिंग निकल गया. वी डोंट केयर. वी डोंट केयर. वेयर इज पुराणम ब्रह्म संहिता में? Where are we following Prabhupada? And if we do it, thereby we can derive the ultimate blessings of the Lord through its careful and patient study. How can we derive the ultimate benefit, ultimate blessings? By respectfully worshipping as we worship Krishna and by careful and patient study. Careful means, again, सावधानी पूर्वक. मैंने आपको बोला, attention. सावधानी पूर्वक गाड़ी चलाने का. Drive the car with attention. Same thing Prabhupada is saying. Careful and patient study. Person Bhagavatam is the self-realized bona fide spiritual master, and through him only can one understand the lessons of Bhagavatam. Now see, reflect upon it. Learning Bhagavatam means what? Learning lessons of Bhagavatam. And if we can learn the lessons of Bhagavatam, then we can derive, we can receive the desired result. That's what Prabhupada is saying. One can derive from the study of the Bhagavatam all benefits that are possible to be derived from the personal presence of the Lord. Please repeat. One can derive from the study of the Bhagavatam all benefits that are possible to be derived from the personal presence of the Lord. You understood? One can derive from the study of Bhagavatam. See, Prabhupada is saying, Prabhupada is saying reading. What is Prabhupada saying? Study. Difference between reading and study? What is the difference between reading and study? Reading means reading without any attention. Study means reading with understanding. Right? Rapt attention. One can derive from the study of Bhagavatam all benefits that are possible to be derived from the personal presence of the Lord. Imagine Krishna is standing before you and think of the benefits. What benefits you can get by having the darshan of Krishna? Right? All those benefits you will get simply by studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna appeared before Narad Muni in the first canto, 6th chapter, we learn it, right? And Narad Muni was eager. Krishna appeared and disappeared also within no time. And Narad Muni was eager to have the darshan of the Lord again and again. But Krishna did not appear. Rather, the transcendental sound came. Narad Muni heard the transcendental sound and Narad Muni was satisfied. Why? Because there is no difference between hearing and seeing the Lord. I don't have the time, but the 1:6:25, the verse is very important. Etavadukto pararam tana bhutam namo lingam alingam ishwaram. Right? That Prabhupada gives a very beautiful purport, that the personality of Godhead, that personality of that supreme authority personified by sound, but unseen by eyes. Stopped speaking. Right? And Prabhupada says that we are not seeing Krishna, but doesn't make difference. Hearing Krishna is as good as seeing Krishna. Right? And the third thing Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, and I would like to conclude uh, with a brief discussion on that point. Again, it's so relishable, what Prabhupada says in the purport. Now, towards the end of the purport, Prabhupada mentions that this is the secret of knowing Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada says the secret of knowing Srimad Bhagavatam is mentioned here. Many times people ask the questions, how can I learn Srimad Bhagavatam? How can I study Srimad Bhagavatam? It is given. It is given. Prabhupada has already given. Right? Sutta Goswami has already mentioned. But what is the problem? Problem, we don't take out the time. Right? We don't take out the time to study the purports of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says that one should hear with rapt attention from the right person. Many people can say this thing, although I can't believe anybody would say like this, what Prabhupada said, But following this, what Prabhupada said, that's even more amazing. What Prabhupada says after this, first thing, we should hear with rapt attention, right? Then Prabhupada says, no one can give rapt attention if one is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind if actions are not pure. And actions cannot be pure if eating, sleeping, mating, defending are not pure. Right? That's a root. Right? That's a root. No one is pure in eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Means what? We have to purify our eating. We have to purify our sleeping. We have to purify our mating. We have to purify our defending. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving the instruction to Rup Goswami in the Madhya 19th chapter. So he mentions about the 6 weeds in the devotion service. Right? So what is the first weed? First weed is Nishidachar. Nishidachar, Kuti Nati, Jiv Hinsa, Labha Puja Pratishtha. Right? The 6 weeds in the devotion service. And the first weed in the devotion service is what? Nishidachar. Prohibited acts. And there are hundreds of prohibited acts. But Prabhupada focuses on these 4 things, even in that purport also. Why? Because if these 4 things are there, if these things are not purified, the mind will not be pure. Take the examples of the people who were engaged heavily in Nishidachar. Take the example of Kamsa. How many Nishidachar? Ravana, how many Nishidachar? King Vena, how many Nishidachar? Ajamila, how many Nishidachar? Right? How many prohibited acts they performed? A long list, I don't have the time, otherwise we can go through one by one. But do you think the mind of Ravana was pure? No? Mind of Kansa was pure. Vena was pure. No, it was not pure. And that's why they also knew the glories. They also heard the glories of Rama and Krishna. But they didn't go here. Isn't it or not? So if the 4 things, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, are not pure, then our other actions, our Varnashrama Dharma, whatever karmas we do, prescribed duties we do, according to Varna Ashrama, those will not be pure. Those actions will not be pure. And if those actions are not pure, then the mind will not be pure. The mind is not pure. Then our rapt attention will not be there, right? So now, in conclusion, Prabhu, do we have 5 more minutes? It's up to 9:30 it was mentioned. Yeah. Yeah. Still, Prabhu, 3 hours are not over. हमने movie का example दिया. We watched the movie with rapt attention. So just 1 hour, 15 minutes so far, right? Yeah. So Prabhupada says, one should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. In every page. We should read each and every word of Prabhupada. It's $1 million purport. Prabhupada words are, transcendental ecstasy dictated by Krishna himself. Prabhupada saying in every page. Now, can I request the devotees to repeat what Prabhupada has said? The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. Anybody ask us, how do I learn Bhagavatam? How do I study Bhagavatam? Simply direct him to 1344. Nobody can explain better than what Prabhupada has explained here. And very categorically, Prabhupada says, the secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. What is that? No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. No one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. But somehow or other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person at the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Shri Krishna in person in the pages of Bhagavatam. शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, शिला गुरुदेव की जय, समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. Sorry. So seventh point, sixth point, yeah, sharing with others. Yeah, kirtyanti, bodhyanta, sharing. Yeah, so second point, hearing with reputation, it's a relish. And again, it's not in order, but I give you the example of seven things. There may be, I'm sure there will be many more examples. Yeah. So thank you, all the devotees, and in conclusion, time for reflection. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
So thank you very much for creating eagerness to study Shrimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention through your uh, this wonderful Shrimad Bhagavatam class. So it is very um, nice to hear Shrimad Bhagavatam from you, and especially I'm very um, surprised that how, in spite of you being a grahastha having so many responsibilities, duties, uh, I- you could study so deep Shrimad Bhagavatam. Uh, Otherwise, we hear not just grahastha, but even brahmachari also may say that I have a lot of responsibilities. This is there, that is there. And that's the reason why I'm not able to study. And also, many grahasthas also may give reason that uh, this is not meant for us, probably. Studying
Studying.
Shrimad
Yes.
Bhagavatam probably is not for us. So we come up with so many excuses,
Yes.
uh, and and that's the way the month passes, year passes. Uh, s- so how could you? What is the secret of yours that you could develop that eagerness from Srimad Bhagavatam, and from that, how all of us we can learn.
Yeah, Prabhu. Prabhu, first of all, honestly speaking, I have not studied Bhagavatam, entire Bhagavatam. These are just the few drops. And the secret, Prabhu, of course, is all the times it's a causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj. Otherwise, I am like any other grasta. And like other people are busy, I am also busy. So I always feel that it's a simply causeless mercy without any reason. they give me their mercy. And when I pick up Bhagavatam, somehow the what Prabhupada has said, I am able to capture some of the things from Prabhupada purports. But but one thing is that Prabhu, very humbly, I want to say that I have the passion for preaching, right? That I want to preach more and more. And whenever it comes to the preaching, then definitely uh, we must study Bhagavatam. Because without studying Bhagavatam, we can't preach. And without studying Bhagavatam, if you go and preach, then you are cheating, first of all, to yourself and cheating the audience, and Krishna will not excuse. Krishna will not forgive you. So, the I think the two things: one, uh, causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj, and the second, eagerness to preach. Very humbly, I want to say, yeah. And the time I pick up Bhagavatam is the time when I have to preach. Otherwise, in day-to-day life, I do read Bhagavatam, uh, but but not study. Honestly speaking. But even while reading, many things gets my attention. So I'll take a note of those things, and when the times come, I will assimilate all those points and share with others. And another thing, Prabhu, like we want to have the darshan with the Lord again and again, right? So similarly, we should read the verse again and again. Prabhupada has said in the purport 4 times that we can see the presence of Krishna directly in the pages of Bhagavatam. That means what? The way we have the darshan with Lord, right? And how do we take the darshan of the Lord? We start from the lotus feet, right? And then go up. So similarly, understanding Srimad Bhagavatam means stick to the first and second canto, two cantos, first, second canto. And of two cantos, first canto. First canto is so important, so important, so important. Right? It's like Krishna's lotus feet. Studying first two cantos means holding on to the Krishna's lotus feet. Right? Isn't it, Prabhu? And the more we read, the more we read, the more we read, the verse itself will manifest to you, Prabhu. Right? You will see it. You will see it. So these are the few things, Prabhu, I can share with my own experience. And again, I mentioned these things very humbly to you. And again, I have got so many inabilities. Right? A very ordinary person, very sinful, engaged in so many nishidachar, but the few things which I wanted to share very humbly with all of you. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Any other devotee? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Roji, for
Can you be a little louder, Prabhu?
thank you very much, Roji, for a wonderful session. In fact, by your class, our respect, appreciation, and the value of Srimad Bhagavatam that we have, especially Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam, it has definitely grown by hearing this session of yours, Roji. One question which I had, Prabhu, is uh, because Bhagavatam is definitely, we know, 12 cantos, there is a lot to read. Even if we read Prabhupada's Bhagavatam daily, takes usually 2 years to complete from beginning to end, Prabhuji. But there is also an understanding wherein devotees feel the need that we can also read Acharya's commentary along with Prabhupada's purport. And not that they are giving less value to Prabhupada purports, but they feel that because Prabhupada has given us the essence and from all the Acharya's commentary, but when we read Acharya's commentary and understand different point of view with the same verse, our appreciation for Prabhupada purports also grows by that. So this is one, but like today, the way you read Prabhupada purport There is so much deep meaning to every line that Prabhupada has written in his purports. And there is so much to apply in our own lives from these purports which Prabhupada has written. So then, I just wanted to know your view on this and understanding, Prabhuji. So how much time or how much energy should an ISKCON devotee give to read other commentaries also? Because we see that time is anyways less for us. So if we read Prabhupada book, Prabhupada commentary plus Acharya's commentary, the progress is slow. Like we are not able to, we move slowly in our canto reading and other things. So wanted
Yeah.
to know on this.
So Prabhu, you are asking the question, but in your question, you are giving the answer also. Right? You mentioned that Prabhupada has given us the sense of all the Acharya's commentaries, right? And you said our life is short. And if you know that your life is short and Prabhupada has given you the sense, then why do you want to spend your time in going around and reading other commentaries then? And your argument for reading other commentaries is that by reading other commentaries, your appreciation for Prabhupada will grow, right? Increase. But why? Why? Even by reading this one purport, why can't we appreciate Prabhupada? I give you only one example. That tell me any one scholar who would translate the word nivishta as hearing with rapt attention. Or with all respect to all other acharyas, I have not read those commentaries, Prabhu, so I beg forgiveness from all the exalted Vaishnavas. That who would translate the word nivishta as hearing with rapt attention. Right? So, Prabhu, from my perspective, Prabhupada has given everything. Our Guru Maharaj used to say, we don't have to add or delete anything to what Prabhupada has given to us. Right? Simply stick to Prabhupada. And our life is short to complete what Prabhupada has given us. Right? Isn't it, Prabhu? And if you can just, and it's not studying entire Bhagavatam. You just take one verse, study it. What Prabhupada is saying, careful and patient study. Right? So you have the careful and patient study. Don't be in a rush to study the entire Bhagavatam. Right? See, Prabhu, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnameva Vashishyate. Right? What does it mean? What does it mean? Krishna is complete. Whatever comes out from Krishna is also complete. Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna both are non-different, correct? So what does it mean? Like Krishna is Purna, Srimad Bhagavatam is also Purna. So 18,000 verses is the Srimad Bhagavatam. And one verse is also Srimad Bhagavatam. अगर आपने 18,000 श्लोक पढ़े तो हम क्या बोलेंगे? आई स्टडीड भागवतम. एंड एक श्लोक पढ़ा तो भी क्या बोलेंगे? आई स्टडीड भागवतम, राइट? यू डोंट से I studied 2 verses Bhagavatam, I studied 10 verses Bhagavatam, I studied 18,000 verses Bhagavatam. Do we say? No. What Prabhupada said, study Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam. Take any one verse, 2 verse, 3 verse. Why are we in a rush, Prabhu? We don't have the time to spend on this purport. Otherwise, we can spend even more time. Another verse which I gave you, 1,340. So beautiful purport Prabhupada has given. 1,625. Another very beautiful purport, right? Go to the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, so many beautiful purports, right? And it's not one-time reading. Study means again and again, again and again, again and again. Right, Prabhu? So please, Prabhu, we don't have to be in a rush. We shouldn't get distracted from what Prabhupada has given, right? And we don't have to show our scholarship to others. Right? Okay, I am quoting this thing, this thing, this thing from this Puran, this Puran, this Puran. That's all good. Nothing bad in that. But unless we complete Srimad Bhagavatam, what Prabhupada has given, where is the time for other things? Isn't it, Prabhu? And again, we have to follow Prabhupada. Did Prabhupada tell us to spend time in reading other commentaries? How many places we hear Prabhupada saying, go and read the commentaries of other acharyas? Sorry? Yeah, yeah. So Prabhupada said, how many times Prabhupada said? In introduction, he said. But Prabhupada did not mean that we ignore Prabhupada purports and go to other commentaries. We have to take it in the right perspective. Isn't it, Prabhu? So please, Prabhu, my humble request that please focus on Prabhupada purports, and that itself should be able to increase your appreciation for Prabhupada. Right? ठीक है ना, Prabhu? Is that okay, Prabhu? Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Any other devotee has got any questions or comments? Now leave aside the questions. Can we have some reflections? Any one thing which you would like to reflect or share with others? It's not a question, share with others. Just in one sentence. Just, sorry, 1 second. Let Prabhu, sorry, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Let Prabhuji. Prabhupada Parampara we have to follow. Don't have to dilute. No, Prabhupada don't have?
Hare Krishna. First of all, thank you so much, Prabhu, for giving wonderful class on this special topic. तो ये आपने प्री रिक्विजिट बताए थे, तो उसमें रेपिटेंशन का, तो आपने ईगरनेस का कोट किया था फर्स्ट ना, आतुरता. तो आपने वृतासुर के जो पास्ट टाइम जो प्रेयर्स हैं उसमें 6:11:26 का आपने बताया था, अजात पक्षा इव मातरम खगा. देन यू कोट, उसमें बताया था कि जो पक्षी होता है उनका बच्चा जो अपनी माँ की आतुरता से प्रतीक्षा करता है, और फिर जो गाय का जो बछड़ा होता है वो अपनी माँ की आतुरता से प्रतीक्षा करते हैं, और जो लवर होते हैं वो अपने लवर की प्रतीक्षा करते हैं. तो वो आतुरता हमारे अंदर होनी चाहिए. तो अगर इफ वी आर ईगर टू हियर श्रीमद् भागवतम, तो वो देन वन डे विल कम, देन कृष्णा, वी कैन सी कृष्णा.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And see, Didraksha. Didraksha means seeing. But Prabhupada is translating there eagerness to serve. Right? See, Prabhu, read you are talking about appreciation of Prabhupada. Right? See what Prabhupada is translating. Prabhupada is translating Didraksha means eagerness to serve. But the Didraksha means what? Seeing. But serving the Lord is same as serving studying the Bhagavatam. Studying the Bhagavatam is same as having the audience of the Lord, right? Correct? Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Any other matter?
प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्ण. प्रभु जी,
हाँ.
मतलब आप जो बता रहे थे तो प्रभुपाद के जैसा निविष्ट के जो मीनिंग है कोई नहीं दे सकता. This point was very nice, Prabhu, because whatever I have read, I am also reading the same thing, third chapter, but nobody would have given such a meaning to that word, and all other many words, and the English rendering of Prabhupada is, it's unparalleled. Means even the Sanskrit commentaries can't stand in front of it. This is what I.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other devotee? No.
That you mentioned, Prabhu, that Srimad Bhagavatam, every page is Krishna is there. It's like we want to take darshan of Radha Nil Madhav regularly, so we should read Bhagavatam and have darshan of Lord. That is a wonderful point. I liked.
Again and again.
Again and again.
Like you come to the temple to have the darshan every day. In the home, you have the darshan of the deities every day. Same thing. Yeah. Darshan of Bhagavatam doesn't mean, okay, just look at Bhagavatam, please. Darshan of Bhagavatam means
Studying.
studying Bhagavatam. Yes. Yeah.
And also that it would, um, we should have eagerness to preach. Then we can, once
Yeah.
we have eagerness to study Bhagavatam,
Yes. Yes.
then there is effect.
You have any point, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So like the way examples which you give, like the comparing like material examples with the spirituality. So that was very interesting for me. Like because we give so many rapt attention in our life to so many unnecessary things. The same things we can apply to our spiritual sadhana also. So that is very important and very interesting point, Prabhuji. So you made the very complex thing very simple. You presented all the examples and you made us understand. So we are very thankful to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mhm.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु आपने बोले थे मतलब मतलब ईगरनेस होना चाहिए हमको इधर आके बैठने को क्लास सुनने को भी और रेडियो के आने का बुक्स मतलब राइटिंग के लिए पेन ये सब लेके आने का और जो भी हम सुनते हैं उन दूसरों के साथ शेयर भी कर सकते हैं सर
Yes. And yeah, thank you, Mata.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी अ, आपने बोला है कि रैप्ट अटेंशन होगा तो माइंड में ही बैठ सकता है अगर लिखते रहेंगे तो प्रीवियस पॉइंट्स में मैं छोड़ सकता हूँ इसलिए मैं लिखने का
Yeah.
मेरा आदत नहीं है प्रभु अगर मैं लिखते रहूंगी तो पॉइंट्स आगे जाते जाते पीछे का पॉइंट्स भूल जाती हूँ इसलिए अगर रैप्ट अटेंशन से मैं सुनती हूँ जो पॉइंट्स भी मैं याद रख के फिर शेयर करती हूँ किसी से ये अच्छा पॉइंट आपने दिया है आज थैंक यू
Good
प्रभु
one.
जी हरे
Thank you.
कृष्ण
Just one sentence, Prabhu. Yeah. You want to say something? Already shared.
Yeah, the prerequisite that you mentioned, Raji, about first thing was eagerness. So etat hi atura chittanam, how the aturta is there in everyone, but we have to divert it in being eager to hear Bhagavatam. And also, you mentioned about how we can express the eagerness by showing respect to the speaker, like coming on time, and the way you gave an analogy of movies, how we go well before time, well prepared, so that there is minimal distraction during the class and we can assimilate as much as possible.
Mm. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. Prabhu.
We're telling about effects of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam with rapid attention. One will not feel exhausted. One will relish. One will have questions, undivided attention. One will feel ecstasy. One will like to share with others. One will like to write down with notes. And remembering means writing, like Srila Prabhupada mentioned.
So he repeated 7 points
Yes.
yeah, to assess whether we heard with repetition. Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So when we are absorbed, uh, we will not worry about how time passes. And also when we are absorbed, we will not be even worry about our eating, drinking, all those needs. But all those distraction becomes prominent. That means the subject is not of interest or he is not eager. So that's what that one point was really important. which I appreciate. And you mentioned about making notes. And second thing, again, you mentioned always carry our own copy of Srimad Bhagavatam. Even while giving class, and this is very relevant even for me. I see when I carry my own copy of Srimad Bhagavatam, where I have ornamented it with notes, underlined, and now I'm hearing this same shloka, then I do recollect the relevant hearing in the past, and uh, it makes the class more interesting, more absorbing, uh, because the devotee is greedy, laulyam, to collect more points on that shloka. Just like any devotee or any person, greedy person, although he's having a lot of wealth, but still he accumulate more. Similarly, the devotees, they make notes in spite of they have something already, but they want to get more and more. This is called eagerness, and I could relate to this point when I was hearing from you. Making notes and having own Shrimad Bhagavatam copy when we hear. I was just thinking if I would have brought my own copy, uh, uh, I would have even I would have been more attentive. So practical implication, I also now want to implement that when I hear daily Shrimad Bhagavatam, I will bring my own copy. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Very encouraging to see the practical implications. What you mentioned, Prabhu, that you would be carrying the notebook every day, and Mataji, you also mentioned. So very grateful to all of you for taking it so seriously and giving me the opportunity. And in fact, this class was for me, right? And whatever I said to you, that applies to me more than anyone, right? So pray to all of you that I should be able to study Bhagavatam with rapt attention. Okay? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी।